The following video you're about to look at, or audio, is a call-in program where Russell from Star talks about the Ukraine situation with Russia. For the Christian, there is no lifting up of the flesh of a man. There is no glorifying any man. So the rebuttal caller at the end of the video is clearly mistaken to see the motivations that are leading us to possible world war and the horrible falsehoods that are being fed to us was the purpose of the call. The perspective of those who dwell with God in his kingdom should see through the deceptions and wickednesses of the motivations of the various parties. Please discern as you hear both the call and the rebuttal.
Russell in Star with Kevin Miller. Hello, Russell.
Good morning, Kevin. Speaking of perceptions, the issue of perceptions and media and all of that, I've often said on calling in that you should be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's your perception. It's written there. And for 33 years, I've engaged in this process. And, you know, there's a war, this is what I perceive, upon Christians in America. An elimination of Christians, a hatred for God, a complete secularization to the point where any perception of anybody who loves God, who confesses the Lord Jesus Christ, that is not allowed. Now, I think Vladimir Putin sees that. I think that he sees that we all have to apologize for being white. We have to introduce our kids to transgender, that we have to secularize the world so there's no nation states anywhere. I mean, that perception is not hard to see. But when Vladimir Putin looks at that and he says, I want to preserve my Russian people, he says. I know that. That's what he thinks. He thinks that, we shouldn't intermarry, okay, everywhere, so we have this chocolate world. This is all their progressive perception of righteousness that is going to occur, and the world is going to come into this magnificent utopia. In fact, it is a satanic dystopia. That's my perception. I've said on KIDO, I've said, the election of Biden administration, or the insertion of them, and we had to fight our perception to know that he was inserted there, is the Satanization of America. I'm sorry, that's my perception. I know that that's not allowed because Christian perception is not allowed anymore. Let me give you another perception, Kevin. If we would have went to Putin as he massed the troops, and we would have said, we've repented in America. We've decided we're not going to go with all this mad dystopia anymore. Cultural revolutionary Marxism, which he sees perfectly. And we're going to go back to tradition and healthiness for our population and worshiping the Lord Jesus Christ. If we said that to him, he'd say, let's be best friends.
Yeah, but then you say that, wait a minute, then Putin, the KGB agents, are daddy.
But see, this is post-Soviet, all throughout Eastern Europe. I was there, I said that on KIDO. Look, it's not, they don't want communism. My God, they have seen the slavery and the misery of those years, and they see the same thing being implemented by the Western globalists in the West.
Russell, great call, and we love God. We appreciate you. Kevin Miller. Bonnie in Boise. Good morning. You're on KIDO Talk Radio with Kevin Miller. Hello, Bonnie.
Good morning, Kevin. Very interesting show. We're still talking about the police. And I want to go back to school. I just wanted to comment on, because when I tuned in this morning, you had I assume a Russian Orthodox person calling in regards to if we would just change everything and become a Christian nation and renounce all this stuff. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is straight out of what the patriarch of the Russian Orthodox Church said. There's a good reason that they are going into Ukraine. He fully backs the corrupt Putin doing this. He doesn't think anything of the leveling of these towns, because these people are not, they're corrupt, and they're the denazification, supposedly. And I'm kind of like, I'm sorry. He should have been called out. That was totally inappropriate. And I understand that the Russian Orthodox Church here is pretty much under Putin's thumb for some reason, or at least the Russian Orthodox Patriarch.
No, you're right. Bonnie, thank you for the call.